Hello. Visual Faith Ministry has launched our newest Color Palette Ephemera packet. It is August of 2025, and our newest packet is Autumn number 2, so obviously there's an Autumn number 1. Autumn number 2 I designed with more teals, orange, yellow, and green. And I wanted to go through and kind of show you what is included in the packet. It's 22 pages, and you don't have to print all of them. Just comes in a zip file, so you can print whichever pages you want on whichever type of paper you want. And the cost is $3. Most of our things in our shop are free, but we do have things in there as fundraisers. We incur costs of our website and a lot of the different forums that we are on. And so we sell packets like this to try to cover some of those costs. So like I said, it was 22 pages, and they're designed very specifically. You can use them however you want, but these ephemera packets are different than our monthly Bible journaling ephemera packets. Our monthly Bible journaling ephemera packets have a devotional in them, Bible verses in them, just a lot of extra kind of small little, I guess, ephemera pieces, while this is more larger pages, larger images, and that is for how I like to use them is to make them into journals. But like I said, you can use them however you use ephemera. And I will show you a couple different examples of what you can do with them. So first, we start out with, I believe, 5 large full sheet pages. So 1, 2, 3, and then I double-sided this, 4, 5. So you have 5 large full page print. And I have a printer that can do either out to the edge or it leaves a white border, either one. To get it to out to the edge, I have to change it each setting, each print, and then this is the normal way that it prints. And I purposely printed it, many of the pages with this because I'm going to be cutting that off, and I'll explain that in a minute. So these large pieces, you can do whatever you want. I just love Poppy, so I printed the whole thing, a large full page. This is fun because it looks like an alcohol ink. And these I did one-sided. Now this I did two-sided on cardstock because this is going to be my cover of the journal that I am going to make with these pages. And then let me show you, there is half sheet, and I printed, double printed. So there's 8 half sheets. So if you double print, you get 4 pages, front and back, for your inside of your journal. So let me show you them. And I will be folding these. I'm going to be cutting off the outside and then folding them in half. See if I can turn the page. I wanted you to see each of the designs. So obviously fall themed. I live in Florida and we do not get a fall. Actually, it probably arrives like 2 days before Christmas, but by that time you're in Christmas mode. So I really enjoy fall paper because I don't get it outside my window. So then the next pages are 4 blocks. Now, I designed, this is obviously solid, so if you love to Bible journal, you can rip them and put them as backgrounds, or you can make these into pockets, you can make these into pages. Now, these have a pattern in the sense of top, bottom of each one, and then the bottom 2 do not. They can go in any direction, and I designed that on purpose. Because what I'm planning to do, I printed one-sided, and we have 2, 3 of the 4 blocks, and then a 4th page of solids. So what I do is after I cut the white off, I am going to fold it down the middle and then glue and then fold here. So I get a smaller page. And I'll show you that in a little bit. So if I had done this down here and you fold it up, it would be upside down. So that's why these at the bottom do not have a directional element to them. So those are 3. I'm going to just do these. I don't think I'm going to do the solids, but I might. Might change my mind. These will be then smaller pages that I will put in between each of the larger pages. Then we have 2 fun kind of color block, smaller. And what I've done before is I've cut 2 out and then glued them on the back and made even smaller pages. Or I've just used them as is, as a layering in my Bible, for my Bible journaling. And then I've used them also in card making. So we have 2 pages of those. And then we have more margin sized, and we have 2 pages of the margins, 2 different colors. And I love this because I just, if I, quickly grab out Bible, open to a page, I can, as you can see, it's almost exactly right, and I can put it right in and then add a few more pieces right out of Bible verse, and then I have a beautiful page. So those are for margin or bookmark type sizes. 4 on this page, 4 on this page. And then we have a page of what I guess you would call traditional ephemera that matches, that you can rip out and glue on. So let me start by showing you the journal that I am going to make. Like I said, this is going to be my cover. This will be my inside. And I'm trying to decide which I want as the inside of my, I think I want this side, so I'm going to fold it that way. Now I always keep in a bag all of my journal bookmaking items. I have paper clips. I have wax. See, it's waxed thread, so it's nice and thick. I have my big needles. Now this is kind of like it's a turkey baster, or not a baster, where you put it into the turkey and wrap your cords around by its legs. So I'm using it as in my journaling. You have a bone folder here. This is the traditional awl. So as you can see, it's very similar to the turkey thingy. And other things, I have extra needles. And one of the threads, if you do not have any of the wax, every time you go to the dentist, he gives you some floss. And some of the flosses are nice and thick. They've gotten probably thinner over the years. So if you can find some old floss, that works as well for when you're sewing your book together. So those are the things I always keep in here. I will get what I need out in a little bit. Put that off to the side. And I decided I am going to fold it this way. And you can use, if you don't have a bone folder, just the edges of your scissors. The handle part, it works just as well. You don't have to have all the fancy stuff. So here is my cover. Like I said, I printed it on cardstock and then folded it. So now I'm going to cut off the edges of the pages that I want to fold in half. And they are double printed. Let me grab my cutting thing and cut those off. Now you don't have to do that, but when you fold your pages in half, it kind of pushes the middle pages out a little bit. And if you have it already smaller, then it doesn't affect it. And I like kind of my covers to be a little bit larger. If you are heavily into junk journaling, you'll know that it doesn't really matter. but I just like it that way. So let me do the last 2 cuts. I love this cutting board. It opens up so I can measure much larger things, but I think it's off a little because when I push it flat up, it seems to be perfect there and always a little bit weird at the bottom. So I don't know if it was just the manufacturer kind of funky. Okay, so for right now, let's see, I'm layering that and see if that falls off. Oh, yep, I didn't have it exact. So let me quickly cut that. It might be on all of them that way. But for right now, I can zip it with the scissors. Okay, so down the middle. Because I do a ton of junk journaling, and I don't mind things really grungy. I don't mind if it didn't line up exactly. That's completely fine with me. Like this has a little bit of strip from the other one. You're not going to notice it when it's in the book. So yeah, that has a little bit of white as well. Okay, last one. Okay, so these are going to be stacked up inside. Let me see if there's one I really want on the front. I think I want this one. And I always look through just to see if, so there's not 2 like leaf and leaf next to each other. It's the center. That goes well together. That goes well, and that goes well. Okay, I think I'm going to do it that way. And I'm going to show you how I'm also going to make those pockets. So let's put that aside, get my cutter back out again, and cut these 3 to make pockets. See if I have them the right directions to see if it will cut off. It should cut off all the white because I had it lined up, but maybe I had one of the pages upside down or something like that where it leaves a little bit. Now I could have on these just printed out to the edge. It would make this part much easier. But when I was printing, I just started clicking instead of each individual one changing. And it's fine. It just adds a few seconds more. But if I had not done the little white part, when you go to fold it, it would be a little bit larger than my inside pages. Once again, no big deal, but if you're a person who's exact. So here is my center. I'm going to fold about all right. Can't see over that, my head gets in the way. Now I have 2 different things, and I'm folding again, that you can do. You can, at this point, make this into a pocket. And by doing that, you would just be gluing around that one edge down. So the open part here, I would just put a little glue or tape along this edge and this edge in between. And then I would leave open the top. Let me see, I have a tag book sitting here for another project. So let me grab out a tag. And then as you can see, if that was glued down here, a tag would perfectly fit in there. So I might leave a couple open like that. And then If I choose later not to use it as a tag, I just add a little bit of glue. Now, if you do not want to make a tag book, obviously you can glue the whole thing down. But once it's folded, it's actually really nice and thick. I have it on a little bit thicker printer paper. It's 32 instead of just the really inexpensive stuff because it prints just so much. The colors just are gorgeous on it. So let me do the same here. See which one I want out. So these are ready. I need to grab out of my drawer some tape. I think I'm going to use, looking through here, oh, my tape is I usually have really thin tape, and I don't know where that is. I must have that in I went to a junk drawing class the other day, so it's probably in that drawer. So let's see if this works. This is a little bit thicker than I would normally use, but that's okay. My tags would still work. Ready. And let's do that to the two others. I do like these are just the cheapy X-Fast, and I often will use the type that has like a white background that then you have to peel off. It's a little bit thinner, so I use it often, but I just bought recently some of the same stuff, but it was thicker, which is kind of fun. But then you have to peel off that white part. Okay, we are done with our 3 pockets. And now the big decision is, where are you going to put them in your journal? Another decision is, do you want one in the middle, or are you going to just spread them throughout, because I have 3 of them. So I might do a large page and then a small page. Let's see what this back one would be. A bird. Yep, that one looks good. Let's see, you have a little squirrel. House and tree. What's the back of this one? Oh, I think I might do this one. Thank goodness, I love poppies. Okay, put that one there, and let's see if this last one fits here. And then the pictures here. I wonder if I'm going to, I might switch it the other way. Fold it. Yeah, I think I like that better. Let's see. Yeah, that'll, well, no, that's almost the same picture as that. Yeah, I don't mind. Let me look here real fast. Here, I think I might switch this one. I know in the long run it doesn't matter, but sometimes I would want more of a different picture next to it. Okay, so let's see if we like it. First page, making sure the little things open at the top. Second page, open at the top, yep. Little squirrel. I like it. Even though there's pumpkins here and here, I still like it. More abstract pumpkin, water scene. That one's similar to this, but I think that's okay. If we did it the other way. Let me see real fast if I do it this way, what it looks like. Oh, that's the same, it's leaves anyway, so I'm gonna leave it. And then last page. Okay, So the next thing you're going to do is line up your pages. They're a little bit smaller than the cover, so I'm going to bring it in a little top and bottom. In other words, don't line up the bottom. A little bit top and bottom. And then these in between pages, I'm just going to eyeball it to the middle. Maybe bring that one down a little bit. And I'll show you why it's important to, when you make the holes, where you have that middle page. Okay. So let's open this up, make sure they're all lined up, the big ones. There we go. And then do this, make sure they're in the middle. And this is where, let me put this away, you get the, here you go, these out. And you are going to put them around to make them stay where you want them. You don't have to use a lot, but my pages are already getting off. So let me line them back up again. You know, you try to make these videos not too long, but then when you hurry, what ends up is not always that accurate. And then you get annoyed because you wanted it to look a different way. Luckily, I make a ton of these, so I know that if it's off a little, it's no big deal. Let's see. That looked like it buckled it a little bit. And the only reason I'm putting one out here is because I have those little pages, and I don't want those to move. Now, if you're in a hurry, you can do 3 holes, but if you have those little pages in there, if you do 3 holes, and what I mean is 1 in the center, 1 here, 1 here. If your little page is, let's say, between here and here, and only 1 hole gets into your little page, those pages are gonna swoosh either way. So you need to make sure there's at least 2 holes or 3 holes in that little booklet part, the in-between pages. Now I'm trying to feel, and I can feel mine go to here. So if I'm doing 3, I start in the middle, I come in about 1 inch, come in about 1 inch. But because I have those little pages, I'm gonna make 5 holes, 1 in the middle, 2 here and 2 here. That way 3 will be through those little pages, and then my outside one will be secure as well. Other decision I need to make is, do I want my tie in the middle of the book? Do I want it on the outside of my book? And then because I have 5 holes, do I want it at the top? If you're gonna add some beads and some little dingle-dangle things, then you might want to start your ribbon up here, right, your thread, and end up there. That way you can tie some things on there. And I have some fun beads. I don't have them near my desk, so I will probably do that after, but I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna start up here. So the first thing I have to do now that I've made that decision is make my holes. So easiest thing is to grab a paper towel roll and to stab into it, but it is too far away, so I'm just gonna grab this little padded thing that I found in an old sewing kit. So pretty cool. So once again, you can measure. You can buy one of those little devices that has measured holes in it, or you can be like me and just eyeball it. So I am eyeballing that this is the middle. I do try to close it a little bit so I get into the crease here, because you don't really want to come out here and this is your crease down the middle. So that one is perfect, and then I push it further through to really get it to where the stitching is really easy later. Then I'm going to come in an inch, about there, I would say. Same thing. Come in an inch. Fold it, stab it. And then I just eyeball here to here is about there. You can tell you're going through a lot more pages when you do that. It's like the center one. Get that behind, stab. Go through. Okay. Got your holes. Now how I measure, I always end up with a lot, and that's okay because you might want extra on the end. If you do not want to have the little dingle dangles things on it. Honestly, 2 times like this, 1, 2, right? And then maybe a little extra is plenty. But because I might want to hang some things off it, I'm going to actually do 3. Grab a needle out, which has a very large eye. These do have points on them. This is a needlepoint one that is blunt. These holes are big enough to where it's really not that big a deal. But I like this size of this one. So I do need to remember, I'm starting on the outside, and I need to remember to leave some hanging out, and you're going to go in. And this is going to be just like a weave. You're going in and out the whole way down, so that's what I'm leaving. Let's see if I can find the hole without looking. Nope, have to peek. In and out all the way down. You do not need to be a master sewer for this. Now I have sewn on my sewing machine right up, and that has worked, honestly, as long as you don't have too many pages, if it's too thick. So you end when you go in and out on the inside, and all you're going to do is go the opposite way. So I'm going to go down, going to come back up. And what you see is you have a thread the whole way. There's no open areas. Going out. Now this is a little bit tricky because you want to pull it, but you don't want to pull it where it rips the paper. Then, since I'm going to hang some things up here, I could have left this longer, and honestly, I could go back and kind of like pull it and make this longer, but I'm fine with that because I will probably only put 1 or 2 beads on it. Then you have to pull to where the hole is. So I've done around 1 time, and then I'm just making another knot. The wax makes it really easy because it kind of holds it. Now then I spin the thread to the other way and now do the same. And there you go. And I'm going to leave this until I put the beads on it. You could cut it off right now if you were finishing it and not putting beads. You can cut it down here. So there you go. So I'm going to take these off and show you. They really do hold. I thought that I could just kind of pull them off, but nope. Oops, got stuck. Let's see how it is. Fold it, and voila, you have a journal. And then you have inside cover, 1, 2, and then a pocket, or 2 little pages. Big one, another pocket or page. And so what will I do with this? I will be adding some fall Bible verses in here. We do a couple different things at Visual Faith in the fall, Thanksgiving type things, and I will do that. And the only other thing I like to do to finish these is I will go around each of these pages and just put some ink on them. I have a brush and I either brush it on or I just take the actual ink pad and rub along the edges. It just finishes, it adds a little darkness around the edge, and I like that look. It'll take away the little white that shows on some of these. Or if, you know, if it's really thick like this one, I could come back with scissors and just chop that off as well. But I hope that helps a little bit of how to use or how to make a journal out of one of our ephemera packets. Also, like I said, the extra pages you can add right in. You can cut off, add to your pages, journaling pages, anything you really want to do. You know, you can either start a new practice or you can do something that you have done for a long time to add to your book. And then I just put them, I have a shelf with all my little journals on there, and I love them. Don't forget to date it, put your year on it. Don't forget to write Bible verses and things like that. You can just journal, you can Bible journal, you can use it as notes, sermon notes. And then extra, I will be making cards out of these for Thanksgiving cards. I'll be using it for my Bible journaling because I love to Bible journal. These little ones I might actually add to the journal a little bit. If you have a tag, these would be perfect to add to a tag so that everything matches that is in this. I do have a little bit of an issue with everything matching. But here's the front again. If you're interested in this, just go to visualfaithmin.org, and under our shop, which is SHOPPE, there's a little, down the left-hand side, you'll see an ephemera part, and just click on that and you can find it there. If it's around the date of August 2025, you'll actually see it on the front page of the shop because it's brand new and it's sitting there. So thank you for hanging in there, and I hope you enjoy this packet.